Let's get it. I'm ready.
Okay. Salud.
Let's go, Cesar.
Let's get it.
Vámonos. What's up, folks? How you living, Cesar?
I'm sick again, bro.
Malito, como siempre, güey.
Siempre.
Como siempre. But you got La Gloria in your... What division you guys? NPSL?
No, not yet. The team wants to go into UPSL, so semi-pro. But they were in the BAASL, which is Bay Area Adult Soccer League.
Okay. So that's like as high as you can go before those things. Before we get into that story, folks, hit that subscribe button. Our number counts have been going up on YouTube, so we appreciate y'all for jumping in there. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're listening to us, or on any podcast platform, and share us with a friend. We're growing right before the new year. Beautiful, folks. So let's get back to it. Cesar, the word around the street is that you won a championship for your team.
Yeah, bro.
Porterazo dijeron. I don't know. Some fool down the street was telling me randomly.
Damn. Who?
I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, Cesar indulged in some glory, folks. He didn't even send it in the Discord. He didn't even send it to anybody.
Yeah,
bro.
True, dude. I should probably put it in the Discord. Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
But yeah, so we played Sunday. It was at 6 p.m. It was a really nice field, turf field, bien bonita con luces y todo. Y empezamos bien, empezamos ganando 1-0 y lo empezó a llover. It was like one of those moments where it's like, you know, you always see it on Instagram or TikTok or lo que quieras, que, cuando está drizzling, it's not heavy rain, it's just like that drizzle rain que llega. It was just like that, bro. It was like fucking, like a movie. Y luego nos empataron in the second half off of a corner, which was unfortunate. And then we had plenty of opportunities, one-on-ones that we missed. Shit like that. It was really upsetting being in the back line as a goalie, doing whatever you can to keep your team in, you know, in the competition. Y allá enfrente las fallan.
Las fallas.
So, but yeah, so it went to PKs, and then we started off losing. The first PK we missed.
Okay.
A striker missed. So it's like, oh shit, like uphill battle from here. So then the second one, we scored. It was until the third one that I was able to block it. Pero que chingo me adelanto.
Oh, they called it back.
They called it back.
Oh, shit.
Me adelanté.
You get pissed?
I was pissed.
You're like, nah.
But that was like their captain, so I knew if their because I was talking shit, bro. I was like, bro, you're a lefty, bro. I already know which way you're going. I'm in your head, bro. Rent free. And then que se la bloqueo, and they called it back.
Did he talk smack to you?
And then he scores on the...
Oh, he got you.
Yeah, he scores. He's like, you should have stayed on your line, buddy. I was like, tu madre, güey.
Damn.
So then, yeah, so I ended up blocking 2 before the fifth PK. So that we go up to do the 5th PK. I had just blocked before that, so it was 4-4 if we scored, because we went second.
No mames, you guys were hella fucking missing. También.
Yeah, 3-3 or 4, algo así. Al caso que we blocked, each goalie blocked twice.
Okay.
So then Roque was a baby Roque.
Shout out baby Roque.
Shout out baby Roque. That fool walks up all confident, grabs the ball, and he said, "It's pa ti, Cesar."
He told you?
I was like, babe, I believe in my boy. Y que la falla el güey.
No manches, Roque.
Dude.
Bruh.
I looked.
Drop an F in the chat, in the freaking comments. Respect for the boy Roque.
Dude. He didn't even look at me after that. And I was like, wait.
¿La voló o se la taparon?
Se la taparon. But it's like one of those soft PKs que you're like, bro, like, make him work for it, bro.
Yeah.
It's like he folded under pressure type of deal.
So then you had to come up clutch.
It's up to me. So then that last PK, he was a righty, so... I said something like, bro, you're like number 7, like that. You must suck at PKs. That's why you're like one of the last ones.
Damn.
I got you, bro.
So even though Roque missed it, that fool still had to make it? Like,
so then it went to Muerte Súbita.
Oh, okay. And then you guys got back to back.
And then it was one after one after one. And then it was like...
Te lo chingaste al séptimo.
Yeah. And then the ref on the side, watching my line, he's like, no, stop talking to him. Stop talking to him. Like, I was like, ref,
Bruh.
like, he's a grown-ass man. He can handle it.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, what...
what
should
are,
be able
what
to
are my
talk to
words
someone.
gonna do to him? Like,
Yeah, you should be able to talk to each other. What the fuck?
the center ref was actually laughing at my shenanigans. He was enjoying it. También me decía que me calmara, but the one on the side was like more like.
I mean, as long as you're not being disrespectful, you're not like calling him.
Yeah. So then, yeah, it was
shit. Honestly,
he shot it with the inside of the foot on my left side, and I was able to block it.
Beautiful.
I was like, bro, y ganamos. Con eso estuvo.
Hell yeah! With that, I saw the video of the celebration. Well, the block and the celebration. I was like, damn, this whole fucking lights out shutout keeper. Low key, that last one, te la puso papita. You guessed it beautifully, right? So he probably thought he was gonna fool you.
Yeah.
But that fool floated that motherfucker like.
Yeah, it was like perfect height for a goalkeeper.
Yeah. I was like in the video. I was like, también no manches, güey. Ya lo disimulas algo,
Sí,
panenka.
Yeah.
Hombre.
Yeah. There was a couple that were really well taken. Like there's 2 or 3 that were like top bins. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm never gonna
you
reach
can't
that.
get those.
Pero yeah, that last one. I mean, number 7. I mean, he might have folded under pressure. Lo que haya sido.
Yeah.
So me la dio papita, and I was like, I'll take it.
For real. There's a reason why they're not top 5.
Yeah.
Did you get a trophy, like a personal one or like a medal or anything?
No,
nothing personal.
Just
a big trophy for the coach.
team,
the one you were holding, no? I saw it.
Yeah.
Parecía de pinche. Dando mundial. What is it? Club World Cup. That's all skinny. Así. It was like a skinny one, no?
Yeah, like the Club World Cup.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. That's a medal.
And the medals were pretty nice as well. They were like heavy.
Wait, you got a medal?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, so you got one to take home.
Everybody got a medal.
Oh, okay,
pero like Golden Glove or MVP award now. Eso. Pero está bien, para la otra.
Sí. La gloria queda con uno.
Yeah. On Monday we had a practice, and they were like, I was like, bro, like we should have finished the game sooner. Like I don't. Like, obviously, I was a hero, lo que quiera. It's like, it felt good being, like, the one to make it happen. But at the same time, like, we should put the game to rest.
There you should have won.
Yeah.
Really.
Like, era pa ganarlo.
Era para las emociones, güey. You had to finish así el campeonato.
Yeah, true.
Damn, but yeah. Campeón, quedaste.
Yeah,
and now you're well known in the East Bay, I bet you. Like, fuck, hey, yo, that fool that fucking stopped 3.
Yeah. The goalie on the other side, he has played UPSL before.
Yes.
Hey, bro.
Like,
colmillazo de Salinas que me enseñaron.
Yeah, for real.
Ahí estamos, cabrones.
Let's go. That's dope, brother.
Yeah.
Congrats to that. Shout him out in the comments. Big W for Cesar. But yeah, folks, we're going to get right into it. We're going to be talking episode 127 in this case. We're going to be talking our reactions to yesterday's Mexico match versus Honduras. It was el juego de revancha, right? That was the big storyline after losing 2-0 in Honduras, having to come back to El Nemesio 10, down in the hole, trying to figure their way out. Vasco, does he play the same players? Ochoa, does he put new guys in? Does he swap the whole line, the whole defense, all the attackers? What is he going to do, right? So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk mainly about that. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming next, who moved on from these groups. We got Liga MX getting to playoffs this weekend. Not too much to talk about because it was international break. We get Premier League back, so we'll go over those a little bit later. Just to kick us right off, if you guys watched yesterday, we all know 4-0 se comieron los hondureños en el Nemesio 10.
Ni las manos metieron.
No, for real. En el infierno, y sí fue un infierno, in all honesty. The vibes were on 10. Mexico played with some intensity at the beginning, throughout the match. Mexico had to come out and show face. And on the scoreboard, they did. We'll break it down, like performance-wise, what we think. But they got the 4 goals that they needed. They just needed 3. They secured it with that 4th goal. And now they get to move on to face Canada, who Canada beat Suriname 3-0 on aggregate. On the other side of the coin, USA beat Jamaica pretty easily. And then they play against Panama, who they just beat like 2-0 in Pochettino's first friendly. So let's get right into the match de Mexico. We got a goal de Raúl Jiménez. We got a doblete de your boy Henry Martin, Henry Martin.
Como le quieran decir,
and
he's putting the goals in.
And Jorge Sanchez got on the board as well. Give me your first thoughts on the match, Cesar. What do you think?
I thought it was great how they came out and responded after Honduras, which I thought was a shit show, a fiasco. Kind of like really disappointing.
The game in Honduras.
The game in Honduras.
You're talking shit show for like player performance, the
Player
Mexico,
performance, Bosco.
de todo. I mean,
de
even in the
todo.
stands and all the craziness.
So for them to bounce back, like it felt like this team tiene agallas, tiene con qué responder, tiene a game plan, and that they executed. So overall, like it was a great feeling watching them win 4-0.
No, yeah, for real. You could see it in the stands too. I might get into it a little bit deeper later, but like it felt a little bit different being in Toluca, being outside of La Ciudad de Mexico, which in my opinion, in el Estadio Azteca was getting kind of tired. Like la gente ya no quería ir. It's a stadium of 100,000, bro. You're not gonna fill that thing, even if you go for free, right? This one's a lot less, and they packed that thing, and it was a good ambiente.
And not only that, like we know los fans de Toluca in general,
yeah,
they
they're crazy.
go all out for Toluca. So like to have him come out and support Mexico, like the energy was there.
They didn't have the gorditos, the famous fools that are always los diablos, the ones that are behind the goal always.
They have tattoos on their head.
Yeah, those fools were not there. Like when they panned to the crowd, it was all the popis from Estado de Mexico outside of Mexico City making their way out there. But it seemed good vibes. Nothing too crazy. But we'll go into whether like what we liked about it. We'll start off with the players. Cesar, give me a player, a name of somebody who you think stood out to you, who did well.
I think Chivas center back Chiquete Orozco did really well. 22-year-old center back from Chivas. Going forward, he gave that assist to Raul Jimenez, and defending, he was also very solid. So I know we have Johan Vazquez there, but I think he's a really solid backup for him. And who knows, maybe que se pongan las pilas, se vaya a Europa, and maybe he can fight for that spot.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people calling him out, giving good shouts and saying that he has to be the number 2 right behind Johan Vazquez, right? They're both left-footed.
Yeah.
So it's a weird problem for Mexico to have, that it would be dope. In my opinion, if Chiquete goes to Europe, if he were right-footed or they could complement each other, Cachorro Montes low-key is slipping up a bit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be opposed to having 2 really dynamic center backs. Johan Vazquez is hella good left with his feet.
Yeah.
It would be great to have a full back line that just knows how to ball, right? No weak points in their back line. But unfortunately, I doubt he'd put 2 left-footed center backs, so it'd be Cachorro with them.
Yeah, which
but good shout.
For me, it was disappointing. El Cachorro's away game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was like seeing him do those types of mistakes. Like we don't need any of that when you're our starting center back. When you're the center back that's gonna be there for the next World Cup and then maybe for the one after that. It's like esos errores no se hacen como un center back, y menos under pressure.
Yeah.
In that stadium, I know it wasn't the best. It was raining, lo que quieras, but still you can't make those.
Yeah, I if I gave somebody a shout from the squad, I would give it to, I think overall, which is pretty clear, Raul Jimenez. That dude is playing at a really great level. He kind of ghosted us all in the away game, but everyone did.
Yeah.
But he got right back to his typical, like, whatever I want to do with my feet, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Like, he was hitting rabonas, he was hitting the back heel passes.
He almost got that chilena.
He tried a chilena just out of nowhere. I feel like he did it just to be like, I'm going to do it again. Like, watch me do it again. Yeah. So he was balling out, but if someone more low-key, Alexis Vega, I think he's been getting a lot of hate for a good while now, but his play is honestly really good. With Toluca balling out, with the selección yesterday showed up, got an assist on the Jorge Sanchez goal. He's balling out. You got to give him his flowers.
Which was a really good ball.
Can he get better?
Yeah, which was a great ball. It was a great ball. He like volteó y lo miró y se la puso donde quiso. I mean, la facilidad que le dieron a Jorge Sanchez was insane.
Yeah,
but
especially after the first mess up that he had that really big blunder where he missed the goal. But what I would challenge Alexis Vega is, like, we know you could put it wherever you want. We know that fool has a glove for a foot. He could put it. Wait, tú la quieres allá? Ahí te la va a poner. Exactamente ahí te la va a poner. Right? That's not a problem at all for Alexis. It's like, can you make the difference in the game? Can you hustle the entire game? Can you juke a 2-3 in their third where we need it and get an offensive play, like a good play up? And he did it yesterday. He didn't do it in the away game, but like I said, nobody did in the away game. But shout out to that fool for for playing well yesterday. Quinones didn't even come in.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I was like,
That's wild.
Alexis was like, I got you. Don't even trip. Give me a player that you didn't like. I know you can get lost in the blinders. Ganaron, whatever, 4-0. Everyone played perfect. There's got to be constructive feedback. Who? Give me a player.
Damn. I mean, I think Alexis Gutierrez just being a debutant. I don't know if it was because I didn't see the whole game. I saw most of the second half, so salió towards cuando salió at the 66th minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't hear his name a lot when I was hearing it through the commentators. So a lo mejor él sería uno. Y luego, I mean, I thought Charles Rodriguez had a decent game, but I feel like he was one of the other ones that we can say, oh, maybe era más flojito. So those two would be the ones I would pick.
Yeah, I got to watch the whole game. Alexis Gutierrez was solid. No sobresalió. Yeah. But I think in the first half, a good amount of that mid, weirdly enough, wasn't that extraordinary, other than the first 15 to 20 minutes. So, like, Alexis Gutierrez, Charlie, Luis Romo, the Cruz Azul mid, in all honesty, other than the really high intensity at the beginning, se apagaron. Charlie, if I had to say, Charlie might be my pick, because that fool looked heavy-legged the second half of the first half. Como que le echó todo el gas away, and then that altura hit, even though he plays in Ciudad de Mexico, same altura basically. But yeah, he looked a little bit sluggish, and I thought it was a really good sub to get him out and get a refresher in there. But Charlie Rodriguez, I would say, like, slipped up a bit, not to just keep bagging on him.
Yeah.
But like todavía se le ve que se necesita. So it made me question Vasco, like, what did he show you in practice that like he needs to start?
Yeah.
There was only 3 players from the first match that started. It was the spine, Montes, Edson, and Raul Jimenez. So I had my questions at the beginning, like, yo, ¿por qué tanto cambio, Vasco? Like, what's up? Like, are you telling us you did so bad? Like, you made the wrong decisions that you have to switch everybody? The first 15 minutes, they went out hard, and it looked like, damn, this fool cooked with this lineup. Y luego se apagaron un poco until Raul Jimenez's goal. So I would put a little bit of, like, constructive criticism to Charlie. I would be like, Alexis Gutierrez, like, good debut, but we need your ball out like Cruz Azul también. Like, pick it up un poco. I doubt he starts any of the matches against Canada.
Yeah. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be very hard. The second half, after the goal, that gave them the momentum. The crowd is back in it. It was a good time y todo. And then once the subs started coming in, that's when it was like, okay, like, fresh legs in there. Honduras doesn't have fresh legs. I honestly overall don't think Mexico did like amazing.
Yeah.
All of their goals were like deflections. The Raul Jimenez one, like le cayó de chiripada to like a banger of a shot cross the Chiquete, and then Henry Martin was a deflection off of a corner. Jorge Sanchez was like, I thought that fool was gonna miss it. Overall, I would say I still think Mexico was playing very sloppy, but they were able to get 4 on the board, which is not something regular. Lightly, yeah, it's not regular for Mexico. They're not dropping 5 goals a game. But I think Vasco knows he's still got a lot of ways to go, but at least they got to move on.
Yeah, and I like the fact that now the forwards are scoring. Si no es Raul Jimenez, es Henry Martin, or luego entra el Memote and he'll score, or luego entra Santi Jimenez and hopefully he scores.
He's back at training.
Nice. So yeah, it's just that now we're getting some product on the field, and it goes with the confidence of Raul Jimenez, in my opinion. Just like him trying whatever it takes to get a goal on the board gives everybody else that confidence, because even after he scored that first one, like, he grabbed it, y sentiste como, oh, okay, Raul Jimenez, el Lobo is back, y we're going to be fine, y hay que seguirle dando. And it's like, that's the confidence that que te da un forward. So that's another point for me that, has Vasco found a way for these forwards to score, fuera el sistema, or it's just that one player's all of a sudden doing good that makes everybody else great. But I think overall, eso was a big highlight for me over this transfer, this international break.
Yeah, Raul Jimenez is really pushing the forwards,
Yeah,
which is good. I think that's what made Henry Martin get in there and ball out too. I'm hoping the same for Santi. I hope Santi doesn't get all emotional like he did a while back and no le daban minutos, and then he goes in and he just fucking
no hace nada.
like whatever. No, que entre decir, you know what? I'm at the bottom of the pecking order again because of my injury, and I got to get back to number one. And I'm gonna beat the guy at Fulham for the spot, and we're gonna have a hella good striker, like 1, 2, 3 punch, right? Do you think Santi Jimenez is in the third slot right now?
He is, yeah.
Over Henry over him?
Henry's in the second.
Damn.
For sure. Just the numbers speak for itself, right? Like Henry es el que te está metiendo los goles.
Yeah.
Ahorita me dices, okay, Raul Jimenez gets injured, you put Santi over Henry?
Right now, obviously he's coming back from an injury, but now you got to ride the hot hand. It's Henry. Yeah. Henry, one of the top goal scorers in the league right now. You put him in because you needed the goal against Honduras, and guess what? He gave you 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You got to get hit on the America, but it's the results. He showed up.
Los dos delanteros, ¿eh?
Cálmate, Henry es de Cancún, güey. No mames, no es de la América. Speaking of confidence, Striker is giving us the confidence. That's great. Your boy snubbing your other boy in Porteria.
Yeah.
A big change this time. I called it out in the live and last week. Like, what is the criteria, Vasco, to put Ochoa in? Why put him in when it was Malagon's spot to lose? And is Ochoa being back in now? Is he the forever keeper again until he retires? Or, like, what's going on there? And then he immediately subs in Malagon. Maybe points to Ochoa's error over the weekend. And then, like, before the game, I was like, okay, like, I get it. I want Malagon in. I think it's the better option in there. But he does make that choice. And in my opinion, it seemed like the defense felt a lot more secure having him back there. What do you think?
Yeah, same. I think in Honduras on Friday, it wasn't Ochoa's fault. But I think either way, he still looked bad in that play, in that first goal. It's like he didn't deflect wide enough, and then getting up, he was slow getting up. And it's like maybe in that game, le dijeron, Vasco le dijo, hey, this Honduras, I put you in because you got the experience of being
in Honduras too.
In Honduras, scary, smaller pitch, raining, bad like pitch, lo que quieras. But maybe he realized then that, okay, well, maybe he isn't the best option right now.
Yeah.
So por eso puso a Malagon, and Malagon did well. Like the moments he had, a couple of the saves he made, the one going up in the air in that cross, y lo que se engancha.
Fool's like, offsides, también, cálmate. It was offside.
Pero like even the commentators were saying, even Osvaldo was saying, en un portero que te salga con las manos.
Yeah, Ochoa might not come out for some of those.
Yeah, and it's like that's the confidence that a goalie needs to provide.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Malagon back there, along with Cesar Montes and Chiquete, I thought they did really well.
Yeah.
So keep writing that.
Yeah, I mean, Honduras didn't have much firepower.
Yeah.
Right? So like, it's a little bit uneven to then say, like, oh, dude, he played so much better than Ochoa because he didn't get tested like he probably would have in San Pedro Sula. It would have been dope to see that comparison somehow a little bit even. But, like, it felt confident in the back. Even with a new center back in Chiquete Orozco back there, it really felt like you have like a third center back there with Malagon, because in counters, I didn't feel like, oh, fuck, this might go in because Ochoa's back there and it might be a little bit sketchy. Like it might be just, who knows if he's on his A game today or if si anda de malas or some shit. They had Honduras had a really good breakaway when it was 2-0.
Yeah.
And Homeboy, it was like a 2v1, almost a 3v1, where Rodriguez from their team, one of their best midfielders, the Honduras, got a breakaway and he gets a shot on goal instead of giving it to another teammate, and Malagon deflects it really hard to the middle, but really hard to where like a defender can boot it out, and they got a corner. And I thought, in my opinion, I saw Ochoa doing that, and for some reason in my brain I saw it coming out soft, and that it was like papita for a push-in.
Yeah.
And I was like, but this fool like con la fuerza de un morro, because he's young, he's 26, that youthfulness, the spring in his legs, he gets a lot of punch into it, and it makes it difficult, and it goes out of bounds, right? So, like, it made me feel a lot more confident about the back line.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, Ochoa has done that before.
All the time.
It's like a soft, como
Yeah,
que la quiere.
La Rosa, instead of like get it the hell over there, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna get everyone me va a lavar because I stop it beautifully, but you put it right there, and then boom.
Y luego mientras se levanta, no, le meten el gol.
It felt a little bit different because Malagon also in the first half got one deflection and he hit it back out, but like it comes out like harder. It comes out like, I don't know, like it just feels a lot more de confianza, even when it's not beautifully out of bounds or like where you would want it to be. It just felt more secure.
Yeah, no, Malagon has to be their starter. Malagon has to be the number one. Y ya los demás que quieran, ya sea el de Chivas or anybody else, has to take over Malagon's spot porque no tiene que ser Ochoa.
We might have seen Ochoa's last game.
Ochoa's just too old now.
I didn't think Ochoa was ever going to see the field again because it's Malagon time, and if he gets hurt, Rangel seems to be stepping up in that place. But we might have seen Ochoa's last game.
Yeah,
and it was in San Pedro Sula.
Not even know it.
Yeah. Let's go a little bit into Honduras because there's not too much to talk about. They don't really do anything. But the coach overall,
se cagaron. That's what they did.
Yeah, se cagaron. The altitude definitely played a game. A bunch of them were exhausted. I think the ambiente there, the people, the intensity, everything. I think a lot of the players did not come ready.
I think the coach didn't come ready either.
The coach también tuvo su mano. The coach had a baller off of the bench in Luis Palma. And in this game, he puts him as a starter. And then we find out mid-game that homeboy wasn't ready to start. And he subs him out at the half.
Subs him off for Juan Obregon.
Yeah. Juan Obregon comes in. That fool plays 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he died. Like, within 5 minutes, the fools from Tudena were calling out. He went to the sideline and got oxygen.
Oh, shit.
And he was dead. And they were, like, making fun of him. What's his name? Not Carlos Cosli, the fool from Carlos Pavon.
Ándale.
The Hondureño was on the broadcast and he was like, no, está muerto. And then they're like, apenas entró. Hace 10 minutos. He's like, no, ya está agotado. And so, yeah, he only played 30 minutes. Carlos Pavon was hating on the coach because he put him in instead of this other dude, Pinto, I think his name was, another attacking player.
Who came in for him.
But that's a waste of 2 subs right there. Those two things, plus, honestly, probably not prepping the team to be in that environment. They didn't look like they had any attacking power at all. They took out Benguche, the striker who played, and the Colombian Honduran striker that was in just was not it. No tenía ni idea. Are we going to counterattack? Do we bait them in and counter? Do we play them al tú por tú? Nothing worked, in all honesty. Against Mexico, who, in my opinion, didn't even have that great of a performance.
Yeah.
It was just te dejaste, and all the Hondurans on Twitter were saying que dieron la nalga a Mexico. That's what it was.
Yeah, and the stats were there too before the game. The stats said something like Honduras has never retained a lead after the first leg, after winning a first leg.
Mm-hmm.
Y se hizo otra vez. Se hizo y les metieron 4 y si no hubieran podido ser más.
It should have been more. I mean, to only go 1-0 in the first half, I think was pretty wild.
Yeah. To
be 0-0 after like those 20 minutes at the beginning was wild. And that got me a little bit scared. I was like, no manches. I was hella pissed here, dude. Me and my wife was like, bro, chill. Because I was like, bro, like, I was like, look at this. And la falla de Raúl Jiménez, Gallardo got a weird kick and he missed the goal completely and le cayó a Jiménez and he missed it. And I was like, bro, are you kidding? Así va a ser ahora. I was like, it's over. But they came through. The Honduras had their own pieces to it. No pusieron ni las manos, like you said. In my opinion, they should have kept Luis Palma to the end. Yeah. Put 11 fucking defenders in there. 10 defenders and a keeper. If you're going to defend. He didn't come out to play. I know he probably thought the coach thought players were going to get exhausted. They got exhausted anyway. They should have defended, and then the last 30 minutes put in Luis Palma to cook your boy Jorge Sanchez again.
Yeah, I swear.
That fool got cooked the first game. Fácil.
Yeah, por eso metieron a Huesca this time.
Both laterales got swapped out, dude. El Stitch came out. Stitch didn't get a single minute, and they put in Gallardo, and Gallardo balled out.
Yeah, but I wish Gallardo had that finishing that he's been doing with Toluca. If he was deadly like that, he'd be freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also your lateral way. Like if Alexis is not scoring, like que también le pides a pinche Gallardo. Yeah. On the other side, if freaking
Huescas had a good game.
Huescas had a solid game.
Yeah. Y luego Jorge Sanchez scored after whiffing one. So on the right side, más o menos más productividad.
Jorge Sanchez nomás se salvó, güey, that they didn't put him in. Like he wasn't in there while there were fresh legs from the other team. Like that fool had the entire wing to go up.
Yeah.
It was basically offense versus defense drill. And he was just pushing that shit up. And he's like, they're like, bro, Jorge, nobody's going to guard you. Just go up the damn pitch.
Yeah.
Nadie te va a parar, güey. ¿Quién te va a parar?
Yeah, and when he received it, he had all the time in the world to score that shit.
He was on the side with Obregon. Yeah. That fool that was dead. So he had to clear, bro. That fool tenía la puerta abierta para entrar. I would like to see a Mexico defense with Huescas, Gallardo, and somehow Chiquete and Johan Vazquez in there, just to have 4 ballers in that back line. And if we're like, just because I want to see Mexico with talent on the field, and that'll get me into my next point in a second, but like, because Gallardo and Huescas were pushing up the field so much, and it felt really nice to see the mids, like your wingers, like Alexis, and who's on the other side? Piche, not Chino Huerta. It was
Alexis Gutierrez or Chino Rodriguez.
And Alexis, they could turn back and give it to their outside backs, and I'm like, oh, it's not El Stitch. It's not fucking Jorge Sanchez. Like, and Huescas was like showed his talent so well, like that he's got that European ball in him right now.
He almost scored as well. He whiffed one.
He
went up. Did a play with Raul, and then Raul como que took a second before giving it to him. Y pa entonces it was like when he kicked it kind of like stretching for the ball, and then it kind of went wide. But yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the Huescas from Cruz Azul, and like you can tell he's learned a lot in Copenhagen. So it's like, in unos cuantos años, this fool can really ball out if he gets the opportunity with Mexico. Y pa que enseñe que es mejor que pinche Jorge Sanchez.
I mean, the cool thing is they balled out in that game, so like Vasco tienen que repetir a lot of players.
Yeah.
I don't think those Cruz Azul mids 100%, but Huescas Gallardo out wide, I think he has to leave them because they helped attack so much that you don't have to go back to a defensive scheme with Gallardo and with Sanchez. I think that's almost like writing your own death wish on the away match.
How much do you think Rafa Marquez played into this? Because you think about Javier Aguirre, and it's like very minimal cambio de jugadores, siempre muy tradicional. Yeah. And he kind of did a 180 with this squad.
I mean, I would like to think that he has a lot of say in that, but then I would also be like, okay, then Rafa, why do you let this fool play so defensive with Stitch? Like, why don't you have more mano to be like, bro, like, you think El Stitch would play in my Barcelona B, right? Like, maybe, why don't we hold it to that regard, no? Bro, Huescas, I would love to have him in my Barça Athletic, right? That fool's a baller. Gallardo at least can attack, and he can defend pretty well. I would love that fool. Stitch, no manches, way. Ni en el llanero, way, los quieren. Right? So, like, that's what I'm saying. I would love to see Mexico get back to putting more ballers on the pitch. Back in the day, El Cabrito Arellano out wide, and like all these, what's his name? El pinche, el lateral Osorio, Carlos Salcido. These dudes weren't just great defenders. Those fools flew up the wings.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I see in Huescas and Gallardo. I don't see that. I mean, I kind of see it with Sanchez, but it's hit or miss. But I don't see it with Stitch. But the other point I wanted to make, el que no se sale de que le diga mamadas, güey, Edson Álvarez. Good player. Tiene que estar ahí. The anchor of that team. The captain of the team. Siempre aguerrido. I want players that like bleed the jersey and sweat it and will like even get fucking feisty with the player because you know what, you're my boy, and Edson does that. Pero no manches, güey, le falta fútbol. Le falta fútbol.
Como que lately his main characteristics are just achándole.
His main characteristics is, the way I characterize him is he's a center back in the middle.
Yeah.
He's like, good luck passing me. And I'm like, okay, that's cute and all sometimes. But, bro, you're the sixth at like the most modern football has been. So you need to be able to get a ball, quitarte un dos real quick, and then give it up to somebody more attacking minded.
Yeah.
But like, bro, there was one play we were talking about it right before this where he like literally by himself, they're coming out playing, and then this fool tries to break a player, y le quitan el balón and counter. Yeah. Like wide open. And I'm just like, dude, like se le está viendo mucho al Edson right now that fool's like missing a good amount of play in those feet. And I think we're seeing it in West Ham, honestly. Like at the beginning, he looked like he was doing solid, stopping everybody. But now that they need him to help more, le falta, and then he gets red cards every other game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate porque, I mean, on Ajax, we kind of was hoping he would develop that side of his game. And it just seems like he just grew in that defensive mindset more than anything. Que now that he's in a physical league, dice, pues estoy aquí.
A little bit harder.
I'm going to have to get physical. And most of the time, it's just more he being late to play or just making the wrong decision. And it's like, con Mexico, most of the time, especially in CONCACAF, we don't need somebody who's going to be very defensive. Porque in the midfield, a veces you're going to need to break down in Honduras, a Panama, even a USA or a Canada who may sit or maybe just, sí, te dejan el balón, pero a ver qué haces con él. And if Edson can't be helping be somewhat creative, then we might need to swap him out, aunque no quieramos.
Aunque no quieramos, y no creo que lo hagan. I honestly don't see a situation where they would do it because he is that stronghold there, because he's the captain. You know what? They may be asking him more and more, like, hey, you need to be helping us get out. Pero también como que parece que también se las perdonan. Like it's just like almost like we put blinders on. Like Edson is so good. He's the guy that's always there. That like, oh, like falló, but like it's fine because he's Edson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to his credit, Flowers, that fool stops so much game coming back, like que no salgan, and he got a great shot on goal. That hit the post right at the beginning of the match. But I guess what I'm saying is I would like to be very picky and be like, if we're nitpicking, a todos le faltó mucho. A Edson le vi que le faltó un chingo. And that fool, like, he's in the best league in the world. Like, we need him to get better.
Yeah, or at least get better in areas like long distance or headers or, you know, in other ways you can help out the team.
Yeah, it just seems everything of his that he's very good at is off of hustle.
Yeah.
And I love it, right? Like, sometimes that's one of the barridotas, and he'll like recover it, and he gives up the ball, and somebody better does things with it, and that's all hustle. Sometimes he gets a good header, and then you're like, oh, he hustled to that down ball. But then sometimes he's wide open with the header, y la falla, and you're just like, okay, like we need a bit more talent. We need you to develop your game a little bit more. And yeah, to your point earlier, like I think in the Premier League he's getting exposed because there's players that are everyone's just as physical.
Yeah,
he was the monster in
Ajax.
He even looked like an amazing baller because we're finding out more and more the Dutch league. You know what? Some of the teams nomás no.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eagles.
Yeah, no manches. And then now in the Premier League, it's not as easy to body people, but you have to ball out también, you know. No, but yeah, I guess that's us being a little bit hypercritical of the match, folks. Overall, I would say the entire Mexico should not be satisfied with the way that they played. Sloppy plays por todos lados. Yeah. But no mames, they brought down the house. They had like 27 shots.
Which is good. No, I'm saying more shots, the better. Los que entren.
Touches in the opponent's box was like 40-something to 3 de Honduras.
Jesus Christ. that second half, like the one that I was watching, se notaba que sí se andaban encontrando, like passes de 7-8 yards se encontraban muy fácilmente, and it's like
In the second half, they were tiki-taka for a bit.
they were having that tiki-taka to them, and it looked good, and it was like se miraba que venían inspirados y querían, you know, so it looks good in that sense. So maybe that's where we're getting these numbers, que son muchos in the box, pero también if you're in the box, ya de una vez, mátalos, yeah.
Because that's the big thing. I'm gonna not like just dick ride, for lack of a better word, the selección and how they did this week in that match, because like I said, they did it in waves, right? The first 20 minutes, El Vasco probably knew, hey, estos güeyes, they're gonna get one sprint at the altura and they're gonna be dead for a good 10 minutes. So we gotta push, but you don't get a goal. So that's my first question. That raised questions. I was like, bro, really? Like, are you kidding me? And then se acabaron por un poco. The second half, when they got that tiki-taka, I was like, okay, like, are they really this good, or is that team just dead? Right? So against Canada, the big question is, can you come out from the get-go and smack them in the mouth? Igual.
Es a un juego, ¿da?
Is it un juego in the cuartos?
Sí, no?
If it is. In semis, digo?
We'll look it up.
They play in March. I know that they were only announcing one game. But yeah, maybe let's get into a little bit of predictions now. Mexico plays against Canada. U.S. versus Panama. Canada beat Suriname pretty easily, 3-0. I didn't think there was too much to write home about. Suriname's looking good for the future. Not so much right now, pero pues no pudieron. The U.S. beat Jamaica, no problem, because everybody and their mamas forgot their passports, apparently, that Jamaica. Did you hear that?
Jesus. Leon Bailey también, ¿no?
No, Michael Antonio.
No, Michael. Ese mero.
And then some other fool went out and got injured, and then another dude forgot his passport too. Two players forgot their passport. And, I mean, pues con eso, pues, ¿qué se puede hacer?
That's wild, dude.
They had the tying goal at home. Damari Gray missed that penalty.
Yeah, they did.
Matt Turner blocked it. But tenían su oportunidad. They didn't capitalize. And then your team just falls apart. Nobody was expecting them to win in the U.S.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it could have kept it tied.
Es like un cuento de nunca acabar con Jamaica. Si no es...
Just a shit show of a federation.
Yeah, just a shit show in general. Like, Leon Bailey had been talking about how they only have one jersey or, like, one training kit.
They can't, like, swap jerseys or anything.
And it's like, yo, like, how are you a whole-ass federation? You're not even 100th and something ranked. You're not even San Marino, con todo respeto, who they moved
just
up.
Got promoted, baby. Let's go.
You're hella like 61th ranked. It's like, ¿cómo no los vas a tener? Estar más organizado, por lo menos. Make sure everybody has their passport. Like, that's the basic ass shit.
You have some baller players, some baller ex-players, retired players. You don't have any funding? Where does it all go? Like, I feel like it's even more like a freaking corrupt than la Selección de Mexico way. Like, it's crazy. Can't they ask freaking Usain Bolt for a little loan or algo, you know? That was got hella money.
Pues sí, pero yeah, I mean, 4-2, que se le va a hacer. The U.S. is just way too strong.
U.S. is looking pretty good. They look pretty strong. Pepe up top, no Balogun just yet. But Pepe's looking good. He's scoring every game. The boy Pulisic hit the Trump dance and lit up Twitter. Everyone was like, what the hell?
Y lo dice, no, it wasn't. I didn't know it was Trump.
Oh, he said it's not political, huh?
Yeah, he's like, it's not political. It's just a funny dance.
The fools that needed to defend themselves because they were getting torched was Weston McKennie, because people were attributing that to being like, yo, you're pro-Trump. And then people were like, oh, bro, you were all Black Lives Matter a while back. Like, and Trump they were attributing him to be anti that. And then Ricardo Pepi was next to him doing the dance. And then people were like, wey, eres pocho. No manches. People were like, do you even got the papers, wey? No manches.
Well, he's an anchor baby, no?
I'm pretty sure he's an anchor. Because he was born in Dallas, no? Like, in that area, so.
So está dura la cosa,
so está bien.
No
yeah, but. No, hombre, sí, estaba dura la cosa. But everyone was doing the dance this past weekend. I'm not going to say it's good or it's bad. But John Jones in the UFC did the dance.
Oh, yeah. A Raiders player did the dance, too.
everyone in the NFL is doing it, and the NFL came out and said that it's not a banned thing because they're seeing it as non-political. They're saying that it's like, I don't know, it's like a funny thing.
It's non-political?
Yeah, so like the equivalent would be if it were political, they labeled Colin Kaepernick's thing as political, and he got hella suspended back in the day. And then Nick Bosa from the Niners wore the MAGA hat on. They weren't even interviewing him. He just ran up to the people getting interviewed and had a hat on, and he showed it and was like, yeah. And then they considered that also political, and they fined him. But they didn't do anything like they did to Colin Kaepernick to him. But then now they're saying the dance is not political, and they're some of the news stations were like, I don't think purposefully cutting the footage or anything, but they were just not showing the celebration. And then I think in like replays they were making sure to not have it there.
Wow,
So it's otro pedo. It's a weird world we're living in right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, folks. In the last match, the most banger of the matches of the CONCACAF, folks, Panama versus Costa Rica was a shit show. One thing I want to shout out before that, though, Canada versus Suriname, the second leg, that Katia Itzel or whatever, the female ref from Liga MX was the ref of the match.
Let's see.
The comments were a bit wild, and comments people were like, why are they pushing women's refs in the men's game? And people...
She's good, though.
She's very good ref. I thought she did a great job with it. I didn't see anything crazy. You
guys should watch Liga MX para que vean qué buena es.
Yeah, she got the VAR decisions, help from VAR, as you should, right? I mean, that's what they're there for. I think she did a great job.
She's been active in Liga MX Femenil since 2017, Expansión since 2020, and Liga MX since this year.
You see that video with like I think Puebla or somebody where they try to tell her stuff on the pitch, like I think she's coming back from VAR and they were telling her stuff, and she's like, "Te me haces para allá," and I was like,
"That's my girl."
Eso mero. Chingatelos.
¿Quieren más o qué?
¿Otra vez se los hace? ¿Qué quiere? ¿Que se los diga otra vez o qué?
It was against Cruz Azul. It was Puebla Cruz Azul.
Yeah. I was like, así o más claro, cabrones, ¿eh? ¿Quién se mueve?
¿Con quién piensan que están hablando, eh?
Sí, se respeta, cabrón. But she ref that game, and then Cesar Arturo Ramos, the top CONCACAF ref de Mexico, did the Panama versus Costa Rica game. That game was wild. Costa Rica had it was 2-2 at a certain point, back and forth in goals. Costa Rica needed one more to move on, basically, based off of away goals. They got the goal, and it got called back off of an offsides.
But before that, Costa Rica missed a penalty in the 6th minute.
At the beginning, they missed one. That would have moved them on overall. But, yeah, they missed a penalty. And then at the end of the match, they still had their shot. It got taken away by VAR. Just a bunch of mayhem, dude. And Panama was able to move through. I thought that was the most exciting game, in all honesty. It was back and forth and back and forth. I thought Costa Rica had it.
Yeah.
And
es como un derby ¿no?
Parece.
Because even the away game or the one at Costa Rica estaba caliente la cosa.
Oh yeah, they got something going on there.
They're neighbors too, I think. They're right next to each other, the countries.
Yeah, Panama gets to move on and gets to show their shit. Tried to get a little payback match against the US. Va a estar duro. I was seeing that in this match, Panama was missing like 6 of their players that they had at the Gold Cup, where they did really well.
Yes.
I don't know if they're injured or if they're on. They didn't get released by their teams, but now they get 4 months until March to figure that out, and they get a whole new call-up. So who knows? A ver si vienen ahora sí enteritos versus the U.S.
It's going to be a good game. Both games are going to be a good game.
Yeah.
It's como the repeat of Copa Oro.
Yeah, basically. But I wish the U.S. would have gotten versus Jamaica when they had to go into a hostile environment to an away match. If it would have been like when they played El Salvador, that they were freaking popping off freaking fireworks and the players are all scared. Like that would have been dope. Now they get the papita games, the dollar bill games in the U.S. But that would have been dope because then you get to see the U.S. struggle with all those big names against fools that play USL, fools that play local domestic league. Like those are always good. It's CONCACAF heritage right there when that happens. But yeah, now we get Mexico versus Canada. Do you think Mexico survives?
It's going to be a tough game because Canada has Alfonso Davies. Canada has the little striker,
Jonathan
David, who's been on fire. He's been rumored to go to top club.
Your boy Schaffelberg has been balling
Schaffelberg, the right back.
He scored he's been playing a little bit higher up the pitch, and he got a really good goal against Suriname, like a pure speed, just beat the keeper to the ball. También hay que cuidarlo. He plays in the
MLS también, ¿verdad?
Yeah, I think in Nashville still. No, I think he got sent overseas.
Schaffelberg. No, Nashville. He's 24.
Still there?
Yeah, he's a right midfielder.
Well, needs to go overseas.
Yeah, he was the best player. He got 2 goals against Suriname. 9.0 on FootMob. Yeah, so it's going to be, Mexico's going to have a handful. No va a ser como Honduras. No va a ser algo papita.
But low-key, Mexico, like, le entra más duro a estos. Weirdly enough.
It's going to be a tight game.
They struggle against the Salvadores, against the Honduras. But, like, Canada is higher up, and I think they play at the level. So I think it'll be tough. But
yeah, but they should get past. They should, quote unquote, un 1-0 or un 1-1 y luego en extra time or penales. No creo que vaya a ser a super high scoring game.
I think it's going to depend on who Vasco puts.
Yeah,
I think I like the back line that he put in this last match. Don't necessarily love the mid that he had in this match. Find the right combination of wingers that are going to work for you. Raul Jimenez untouchable up top. Henry Martin off the bench now. Figure out a way to get Quiñones in there. What the hell? Like,
swear.
You need him against tougher teams. He's balling out in Saudi Arabia. So I think if...
Ponlo de un falso 9.
It's going to...
Como de un 10.
Pero no te da el desgaste un poco. This past match, Mexico played like a little bit more dos ochos than los dieces.
Yes.
Than un diez, right? They had Edson kind of by himself, and then the other 2 mids would help defend, but they were further up the pitch. Arriba. I think it's because that fool doesn't have a pure 10 that can do the job that those 2 were doing. Like 2 bodies is more than 1, especially if the one fucking sucks, like Orbelin.
Yeah.
Right? If Orbelin's by there by himself, bro, nunca vamos a llegar.
Did you see he wanted the PK? Le dijeron,
yeah.
Nada.
Sopas, cabrón. Hey. Ya vete para Grecia, güey.
¿Quién eres tú, cabrón?
Ya vete yendo. Bro, he got in at the 92nd, and then like at the 94th, he wanted the PK. And I'm like, my guy, también. Ten humildad, por favor.
Qué bueno que lo quitaron, honestly.
Luis Romo, I think, snatched it from him. Like, toma, cabrón. Sí, ahorita te doy una, cabrón.
Which is good, because my homie, si supo y se la dio a Henry. Es todo.
That Cruz Azul America love. Damn.
He knew what's best. So, Henry ahí se va ganando el cariño de la gente, de la people.
Yeah, but I thought Luis Romo might have taken it because for a while Luis Romo was a really solid PK taker. I think like I said, I think Mexico's gonna move on, especially if he has the back line that he had this last match. That was solid. Very solid.
Y con Huescas up and down that field, bro, we need him. Por favor.
I can see Vasco being like, they have Davies full. So Rafa Márquez, like, hey, traen a Davies. Tengo que poner al Stitch para que lo calme. Uno que nunca se va a ir.
Stitch on the right side?
Stitch, because Davies on the left hand is the tough thing. He's going to be like, yo lo pongo donde estés, güey. I could see Vasco being
Stitch,
like that. Like.
Ven pa' acá.
He's like, y Rafa, ira. Así hago mis decisiones. Stitch, ¿lo paras o no?
I'm dead. Dame tu palabra. Con eso tengo.
Yo no soy de chingadera. You know how he's hella vulgar? And then Stitch is like, no, pues sí.
I'm dead.
My God. I hope, Gallardo and Huescas can stop both of those wingers. Huescas, on all honesty, you need that speedster. And Huescas is at the top level right now. Don't bring me Jorge Sanchez. No, hombre. I would be even scared if Alfonso Davies not going to get subbed out. I would be scared if he does the same sub this time and puts Jorge Sanchez last 20. I'd be like, no, man, that's too many minutes for...
I'd be down.
That's too many minutes for Alfonso Davies to be against Jorge Sanchez.
Too many minutes, he said.
Unless we're winning 2-0, 3-0.
Pero, I mean, Canada has Kyle Laren también that we have to worry about. So, si Cesar Montes no está
Qué pinche Laren.
en su A-game, pues ahí está Chicote.
El chiquete.
Chiquete.
¿Cuál chicote, güey? Ese güey
Me
anda-
quiero traer toda la América.
Not full on the chopping right now. No, hombre. I mean, in 3 months, Johan Vasquez will be back. So we'll have Johan
He's
Vasquez.
on injury, right?
I think he's like slightly injured, but would rather stay. And they just got a new coach. They just got Patrick Vieira. So I think he's got to stay there, you know. Hey, ve a conocer tu nuevo coach.
¿Quién necesita coach? Aquí yo soy el que reparto el queso.
Javier le dijo, hey, ve y conócelo.
Es
Llévalo al
legendario,
lonche,
sí.
tráele cafecito. You got to get
Me
in with the
gusta
good
así.
coach way because guess what? The last coach didn't like you. This one's got to like you.
Yeah.
I think it was more about like his career, like needing to stay and get minutes at Genoa, in all honesty. But he'll be there in 3 months, I assume. All right, folks, games to watch. Cesar, let's go.
We go to La Liga. So club football is back. We're going to start off in La Liga. We got Athletic Club against Real Sociedad. Both historic teams from La Liga wanting to get on winning ways back from international break. So we'll see if Athletic Club con el Alex Padilla in their ranks can take a dub this weekend.
He's not playing anymore, huh?
No.
Yes. I'll stay in La Liga. Valencia versus Real Betis. Valencia is in dead last place. We're not used to seeing them down there, but ya como que se hizo costumbre them or Sevilla. We'll see if they can claw their way out of the bottom versus the Betis que también necesita points.
And then we're going to take it to the Premier League. We got Manchester City against Tottenham Hotspur. Can Manchester City and Pep Guardiola get back to winning ways after losing the past 4 games, something that had never happened to Pep Guardiola. So now that he's got a few days to train with the team, could he beat a Tottenham Hotspur?
I think they lost their sporting director too. Empezó
La machaca.
La cortadera de cabeza. Staying in the Premier League, I got Arsenal. My Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. The 4 versus the 5 here. Weird to see Nottingham Forest all the way up there. And they are the 4, not Arsenal. Arsenal needs to get back to winning ways after some tough results lately. Thankfully, I don't think they lost anybody in international duty this time. So van a llegar enteritos and ready to turn it back on. And lastly, folks, we got Liga MX kicking off this weekend. Playoffs. We got the play-in tomorrow. We didn't talk too much about it. But Chivas versus Atlas, Clásico Tapatío, América versus Tijuana, Thursday. The winner of Chivas versus Atlas plays the loser of América versus Tijuana this weekend, I think Sunday. And then playoffs, ya sí empiezan next week, next Wednesday, I believe. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the Discord. Who's your team? Who you got? Who do you got for the playoffs? Es cuando se pone bueno.
Sí, es cuando. It's when everybody tunes in. I know we don't like these short seasons. We prefer long seasons, but de todo se pone buena la cosa.
Yeah, it's going to get exciting. And we might get a Clásico Nacional next Sunday.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they figure out their own ways to make it in. I'm fine if America doesn't make it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, folks. Well, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, subscribe to us wherever you can. Share with us. We got our Turkey Bowl next Thursday. Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. We're going to be there. There's going to be covering.
Aguántense.
Tráiganse su rain jacket y todo.
Yeah.
Se va a poner buena la cosa, eh. So don't miss out.
Food, music. Merch for sale, folks. Merch for sale, folks.
We brought a new colorway for the hat that everybody loved. So stay tuned. It's going to be all up in our social medias. So, yeah, if you're in the Hollister area, in the South Bay area, you want to play right before the turkey, we're going to start at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. Para jugar un ratillo, ganar hambre, y luego irte a la casa ready to eat some turkey.
Some negative calories at that point. Well, we appreciate all for tuning in, and we'll talk soon.
Peace, everybody. Peace.